my lecture or not wasting your time, but to bring you on a track that question I have asked. So multi-criteria decision making, when you have more than one criteria to select one specific object or alternative, in that case the multi-criteria decision making analysis is required. There are variety of methods for multi-criteria decision making. What is decision making? Decision making is the act of choosing between two or more course of actions, right? May not always be a correct decision among the available choices. You are taking the decision, but you may not be 100% happy for taking that specific decision. For example, someone has told me that he wants to buy Hyundai. His first choice is Mercedes, but the budget is limited, so he has to go for the, what you can say, Hyundai. So choice is there, but it is not correct choice. Why not correct choice? Because there are n number of criteria which this that governs your choice. So there may have that had not been considered, or the right information may not have been available at the time. Multi-criteria evaluation problems consist of finite number of alternatives explicitly known in the beginning of the solution process. So we wanted to select the car, and for that car we know number of brands. That is my alternatives, and explicitly known the what you can say factors which are affecting it. That also we know. So before trying to find it out the solution from the process, we explicitly know about the alternatives, we explicitly know about the, what you can say, factors which are affected by it, right? So there the multi criteria evaluation problems, right, that can be solved using multi criteria decision making techniques. So in multiple criteria design problems, the alternatives are not explicitly known. An alternative can be found by solving a mathematical model. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 alternatives, but out of that, which alternative you have to choose? Whether you will go with the alternative 5, whether you will go for with the Mercedes, whether you will go with the Audi, whether you will go for the what, nano, right? Nano car, which one? That alternatives you have, but you wanted to choose the best alternative out of it. The number of alternatives either infinite or not countable, or typically very large if countable, right? Then the MCDM problems can also be divided into two major classes, that with respect to the way of the weights of alternative are determined, that is compensatory and outranking decision making. A rational decision making model in which choices are systematically evaluated on various criteria, that is called as a compensatory method. Attractive attributes of an alternative can compensate for less attractive ones. A systematic decision making procedure has to be followed. A compensatory model, because a positive score on one attribute can outweigh a negative score on the other alternative. For example, a car may have a low price and good petrol mileage, but so slow acceleration. So one alternative, that is low price overtakes over the slow accelerations, right? If the price is sufficiently inexpensive and petrol efficient, the consumer may then select it over a car with better acceleration that costs more and uses more petrol. So that is the way of choosing an alternative or deciding, taking a decision using the compensatory method. Occasionally, a decision will involve a non-compensatory strategy. For example, a parent may reject all soft drinks that contain artificial sweeteners. Other good features such as taste and low calories cannot overcome, because parents don't want their kid to drink soft drinks, right? So he may not want to drink them the soft drinks with artificial sweeteners. This is an example non-negotiable. These are the alternatives which are called as non-negotiable alternatives. So as far as the decision making techniques are concerned, AHP and FLDM. AHP means analytical hierarchy process, and FLDM means fuzzy logic decision making, are the two most popular example of compensatory MCDM technique, which are widely used to solve decision making problems in various decision support systems worldwide, right? So outranking decision making, this is a second method. In this method, one option is said to outrank another if it outperforms the other on enough criteria of sufficient importance and is not outperformed by the other option in the sense of recording a significantly inferior performance on any one criteria. All options are then assessed in terms of the extent to which they exhibit sufficient outranking with respect to the full set of options being considered as measured against a pair of threshold parameters. So we will not go into the details of it. We will talk about multi-criteria decision making. So MCDM techniques, there it is short form or abbreviation of it is multi-criteria decision making. MCDM refers to making decisions in the presence of multiple, usually conflicting criteria. MCDM can be classified into two categories, MODM and MADM. MODM means what? That is multiple objective decision making. It can be used when mathematical model is there. And MADM, multiple attribute decision making, that is selection based on finite or limited alternatives. In MADM, what are the techniques? The SAW, simple additive weighing method, WPM, weight product method, AHP, analytical hierarchy process method, and fourth, that is Topsis method. So these are the compensatory MADM techniques. So AHP, what is the classification of AHP? Analytical hierarchy process method, which I am going to explain you. It's a part of compensatory method and MADM technique. Okay, that is called that is the classification of AHP. So first of all, who developed AHP? So it was Satie in 1980. He has developed this AHP. AHP uses multi-objective method of comprehensive evaluation and network system theories. Break down factors which have an important correlation with decisions into the target, criteria, index layer, and then carries out quantitative and qualitative analysis on this basis. The analytical hierarchy process is a structured technique for organizing and analyzing complex decision making. AHP allows some small inconsistencies in judgment because human is not always consistent. It allows both objective and subjective analysis. For example, I have right now asked you that which brand of car you will like most. Some of you said that Hyundai, some have said Audi, some have said Tata. But in the evening, your wife or your kids or your friend who may be in the room, and he heard you that you have replied this specific car, and that started arguing with you, or your kids started arguing with you. So papa, why you told, or mummy, why you told this Maruti? We can have a better choice when we go for the Honda. So better we go for the Honda car. Why you are asking for Maruti? Then you will say, oh, sorry, I forgot. That time the sir has asked and I was in tension, so I replied Maruti. That means this is what AHP, what happens, it humans beings are inconsistent. So your reply right now, reply in the evening, and reply after 1 week, probably it may differ for a specific judgment which you have taken for the selection of a car, right? So application of AHP, there are various papers you will find in which the AHP has applied. I will cite example of my own paper later on for AHP. What are the design steps for AHP? So there are the design steps are, first of all, define problem, like we have defined the selection of car. Develop hierarchical structure, like what are the factors which are affecting the selection of car. Develop pairwise comparison of matrix, then compare which factor is more important or over the other. For example, if you have cost and second one is a luxury car, right? Brand of luxury, then cost and luxury, according, if you have limited money, you will give high weightage to cost, and if you have infinite money, you may give luxury of a car more weightage. So that depends. So that's why it is saying develop hierarchical structure, do pairwise comparison. After developing a comparison or responses which you have got, that you check it for consistency verification, and that consistency verification is done considering the consistency ratio, and that consistency ratio should be less than 10%. After consistency verification is checked, you can go with that weight priority ranking, and from priority ranking you will be selecting the best alternative. This entire flowchart, 16 number flowchart, please remember this. Why? Because we are going to follow this particular flowchart, and we will be outright ranking one problem in the second half of this lecture, right? So what is the first step? The first step is setting up the hierarchy. In that hierarchy means determine the objective and the evaluation attributes, develop a hierarchical structure with a goal or objective at the top level, the attributes at the second level, and the alternatives at the third level. Okay, then this is our own paper in which we have tried to identify identification of weight of indicator influencing performance of solid waste management system. So we wanted to evaluate this solid waste management system for different cities in India or worldwide. So for that, that is goal. You just see that on the top it is written goal. Goal, that is level 1. So what is my step 1? Determine the objective. So what is my objective? Evaluation of SWM system. What is my second step? The evaluation attributes. So these are the attributes. But attributes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 attributes are there. That is at level 2. That is criteria. And each attribute is again affected by sub criteria, right? So that is sub criteria level number 3. For example, my goal is the evaluation of solid waste management system of Surat city. That is my goal number 1. You can, if you are staying in Ahmedabad, you can evaluate Ahmedabad. One who is saying Bharuch, Ankleshwar, Vadodara, whatever, Rajkot, Bhavnagar, Jamnagar, Hyderabad, whatever it may be. Okay, so that is my goal. Then what are my criteria? Criteria as coverage, transportation, disposal, consumer complaints, unit cost, outcome, right? Recovery, recycle, environment aspect, etc. This I have considered. Somebody says, sir, you have taken one, you have forgotten one important criteria here. You can add it. Someone says, sir, for our city, this specific factor which you have considered as a criteria that is less significance and it will not affect the evaluation of solid waste management system, you can omit it, right? So it's upon you that what are the factors which are affecting the solid waste management system that you have to decide. But at the same time, you cannot do like that if you are doing rainfall runoff modeling, right? And if you want to evaluate the rainfall runoff modeling system, and in that you have taken criteria, and in that criteria you have not considered the rainfall itself, right? So will it do? If you are doing rainfall runoff modeling and trying to prepare a model for rainfall runoff modeling to decide about the stormwater system which you wanted to implement in a city, and there are, that is your goal, and in a number of criteria, if you are not considering rainfall, will it do? Please type yes or no in chat. My question is, I am doing rainfall runoff modeling. I want to prepare analytical hierarchy process model, and for that analytical hierarchy process model, if I have considered number of factors, and in that number of factors, I have not considered the rainfall. So will it do for my AHP problem? How many answer I got? Only 3. What rest are doing? 4, 5. There are 69 plus 6, 7, 8, only 9. 9 responses, that's all. 10, now it become 10. Yes, Mehul is saying rainfall is required. Yes, yes, Ashish Soni has come. He says no. Okay. What are others? Hello, only this much? What others are doing? So out of 68 plus, I got only 21 responses. Now 22, 23, everyone has to type, everyone you do reply, so that I can understand that you are enjoying my lecture. Otherwise, just simply attending it, that will not help, right? So I need to know that how many of you are actively attending this lecture. So nearly 25 have replied. I think, is it more than that? No, not more than that. That's all. Okay, 25 people have replied. 68 plus are here, but only 25 is replying. I don't know what others are doing. Fine. So naturally, if it is a rainfall runoff modeling and if you will not consider the rainfall, then definitely it is not going to help. So why I'm saying this, so that you can understand the importance of goal, importance of criteria at level 2, and importance of criteria at level 3. So this we have to decide first as a first step, right? This is another problem in which you have to choose sustainable earthen moving equipment, and you will see that 1 2 3 4 5 6 criteria that are main criteria, and there are so many sub criteria, and alternative option A, option B, and option C. So you have to choose the best option out of A, B, and C with this main criteria and these sub criteria. Okay, so this is the first step. This specific chart, sustainable earthen moving equipment, that this is the paper from which I have taken an application of Analytica hierarchy process for sustainable procedure, procurement of construction equipment, multi-criteria based decision framework for Malaysia. And this paper is not old. Let me tell you, this is a very recently published paper, 2019, and this Hindwai is one of the good journal. Okay, then we have discussed about the car, and in car we were talking about the criteria and sub criteria. This is the paper which is published in Science World Science Direct, Procedure of Social and Behavioral Sciences. In that, the selection of car problem has been analyzed, and they have taken 7 criteria: quality, reliability, technology, brand image, flexibility, performance, and price. They have not taken sub criteria, only criteria they have taken, and my goal is to select the best car. They, in this paper, they have selected 7 brand of cars and the 7, what we can say, criteria. And using those 7 brand of cars, that 7 brands are alternatives or option. Out of that you have to choose one, but considering how many criteria? 7 criteria. So in this paper they have applied AHP and they have selected a specific branch of car based on the evaluation of this 7 criteria. So what is my first step? What I have explained you, define problem. So what is what you have to do in defining problem? You have to define the objective function, and you have to select the attributes, right, which are required to evaluate that objective function. For that, how many examples I have given? I have given one paper of mine, Harshul Parekh and myself, right? In that, the 3-level hierarchy model I have shown. Then I have shown the second paper, that is of Mohammad Waris, and this that is sustainable earth moving equipment selection, and third one, that is of selection of car, that is from Sinan Apak. That is he has used again AHP to select the car. Why I'm showing this? So that whatever branch you may be, right, maybe civil or that is environmental, construction, geotech, structure, any discipline of civil engineering, you can apply AHP. That is the point here to show you this slide, at the same time make your concept clear. Now the second step. What is second step? That you have to prepare the relative matrix. So this relative matrix, how to prepare the relative matrix? The scale has been given by SATE, and you have to rank the alternatives. You have to compare the alternatives, like you have to compare the cost and luxury, as I said. So cost and luxury you have to give relative importance. Cost is important or luxury is important. So for that, relative importance are given, and the SATI has given 1 3 5 7 9 scale, and its definition as 1 means equally important, 3 means moderately important, 5 means strongly important, 7 means very important, and 9 means absolutely important, I over J. Okay, so this is what we can say, the scale which is given by SATE for comparison of 2 alternatives, where 2, 4, 6, and 8 is taken as intermediate values. Okay, then relative normalized weights. Once you have got the weights, you have to do the process and make it normalized. So you have to convert the weights into the normalization process. After the normalization is done, you have to check whatever weights you have derived for its consistency. So how to check the consistency? So for that, first you have to find it out consistency index. That is, the formula for that is lambda max minus m upon m minus 1, where m is the matrix side and lambda max is the maximum eigenvalue. Okay, and consistency ratio is given as Ci upon Ri, where Ri is randomness index, and the Ri values for 3 by 3 matrix, 4 by 5 matrix, 5 by 5 attributes are 3, then Ri value you have to take 52, attributes are 10, then Ri value you have to take 1.49. So this random index Ri that also has been given by its developer Sati, and the what value of weight, when you will accept the weights and when you will reject the weights, if the CR value is less than 0.1, that is 10%, right, then you will less than 10%, then you can accept the weights which you have derived. If the CR value is greater than 10, what you have to do, you have to reject the what you can say weight which you have computed using this process, and you have to look into it that what is gone wrong where, and accordingly you have to go for the other trial. Okay, then comparison, when I said that pair wise comparison, how to do the pair wise comparison, that is the most important one. I will show you here how the pairwise comparison is done. Suppose if you have three fruits, one is cherry, another one is apple, and third one is banana, right? So pairwise comparison matrix means what? That you wanted to choose between apple and banana. So someone likes banana more, so he has given 3 weightage to banana. So how will you write in the matrix? You just see the matrix is written on the right hand side, that where the diagonals are there. So diagonals elements Aj equal to 1 upon Aij, means Aj, if we select the first row, first column, that is first row, second column, first row, second column. So if you take first row, second column, then the value of first row, second column is equivalent to the value of second column, first row, right? That is Aj equal to Aij. What does it mean? That suppose we compare first apple and banana. So for apple and banana, when we compare apple and banana, right, what he says that he likes the banana more, right? He likes the apple less. So as we are comparing with apple and banana, and the expert has given weight of banana more, therefore in the comparison of apple and banana, we will write 1 by 3. But when we compare apple and cherry, and the expert has given weight 5 to the apple, so we will write cherry here 5. Okay, similarly, when we compare banana and cherry, you just see here banana and cherry, the expert has given 7 weightage to banana, right? So we will write 7 to cherry. But what about banana and apple? If you will take the second row, banana and apple, but already you compared apple and banana. If apple and banana 1 upon 3, then banana and apple will be 3. Okay, then cherry and apple, apple and cherry 5, so cherry and apple will be 1 upon 5, right? Similarly, cherry and banana, if banana and cherry is 7, so then cherry and banana is 1 upon 7. So this way the comparative matrix is prepared, and this particular the comparative comparison matrix that is shown over here, that you have to prepare for all the alternatives. For example, if you will see this specific chart, right, which we have prepared for solid waste management, you have to compare coverage with all remaining 6, then transport with all remaining 6, then disposal with all remaining 1 2 3 4 and 5, then consumer with all repairing 1 2 3 and 4, unit with another 3, outcome with another 2, storage with another 1. Similarly, the sub criteria, so that percentage area coverage that you have to compare with all the rest. So you can imagine if the problem is having more attributes and more criteria and more sub criteria, your questionnaire which you will send it to the expert for filling it. Why we need to contact the expert? For filling the deriving the weights, because you are not sure about, right, what weightage is to be given for a specific factor. So if you ask the experts or the persons who are working in that specific field, they may be the better judge to give these weights to weights to these parameters. And not like one, you have to select number of experts. You can send the questionnaire form to number of experts, and by sending this form to number of experts, what you can prepare, you can prepare a questionnaire survey, and utilizing using those forms. Suppose you collected 50 forms, so either you can go by arithmetic method, or you can go by geometric mean method, and evaluate all the options given for one particular comparison, and finally you find it out this matrix which is shown over here. Suppose this is the matrix which you have consider for the apple, cherry and banana. So this is the this particular matrix A, which may be the outcome of the opinion of 100 experts whom you have asked about of apple, banana and cherry. Each form you have evaluated, and for each form, each weight, that is apple and banana, someone has given 1 3, someone has given 1 4, someone has given like that 50 values are there, and for 50 values you take mean, geometric mean, and the final values you can keep that as a 1/3, right? Similarly, hello. Similarly, for car problem, so this is the luxury car problem which we have seen. How many attributes were there? 7 attributes were there and 7 brands were there. So as after doing questionnaire survey and analyzing each form, these are the weights derived by the authors for selecting a particular brand of the car. This is done by them, and they have developed this sort of a matrix for 7 alternatives, 7 different brand of the car and 7 criteria. So this is what I have shown now. This one here in this this problem, this is the 7 criterias, and how many brand of car? 7 brands, and that comparison they have done. They might have sent this matrix to different experts of this area, and from them whatever weights they have got, those weight comparison, criteria comparison is done as shown in this slide, and then finally they have prepared what you can say this type of a matrix. Once you prepare this type of a matrix, what will happen? You can go for what we can say the prioritization of this, right? There is a limitations also. What are the limitation of AHP? Very different alternatives cannot be compared. No constructive guidelines to the structuring the problem is given. It was found out that constructing hierarchy differently may yield significantly different results, right? If someone is if I give the selection problem of car to one group of students and another to another group of students, it may happen the results may be differing with each other. When to aggregate the opinions, that is also an issue. Groups discussing the issue is better, but not always feasible, right? For example, taking the owner's experience or experts opinion instead of asking them to fill the questionnaire survey form in isolation, you can make a groups that is called Delphi technique, and by doing Delphi technique you can make them sit at one particular place and ask them to fill the questionnaire survey. Say for example, for solid waste municipal waste management system, what we did, we have conducted a half-a-day seminar in our college where we invited all the experts from the area who solid waste management who are working in the area of solid waste management, and there we discussed. First we have explained this all the criteria, goals, etc., and then we ask them to fill the form, so that if any expert is not able to understand any comparison, then what we can do, he can ask us as we as the research scholar and myself and other volunteers were present who have derived this specific or defined this specific problem with different alternatives, and then the rank is chosen. So rank reversal, rank changes when another alternative is added to the group. Sometimes you have taken 6 alternative and solve the problem, and then you add the another alternative, then your result may not be consistent. Your choice of alternative may be completely changed. It is also time consuming and not recommended for more than 8 by 8 matrix. As far as possible, if your attributes are 4 by 4, 5 by 5, 6 by 6, 7 by 7, up to that it is said that the analytical hierarchy process work well. If it is more than that, it's not what we can say worth of it, right? So this was all about the theory part of the what you can say analytical hierarchy process. Now we will solve together one example, and that will really give you idea that how the analytical hierarchy process works. So those who want to solve the problem with me, please take out the notebook and start writing. I will explain first what is this problem is and what we wanted to do. So a multi-criteria decision making model to evaluate metal stamping layout. Right, means what is metal stamping layout? So these are the stamping layouts. You know that the various types of stamps are available, or where you can see the gold medals, coins which are stamped, right? The stamping dies, rather, that is called stamping dies. That stamping dies are used to make these stamps or the coins, etc., that you can see in this picture. So this is a metal stamping die. Those who are mechanical engineers attending this particular program, or the one who knows the die process, you know that this is a die which is applied on a object to stamp it, to do the marking on it, right? Specifically this is used for products like showing the logos and for marking logo on products. So these particular metal stamping dies are used. So what is the problem here? The problem here is evaluation of metal stamping layout using an analytical hierarchy process method, right? Problem is to find the rank based on 5 parameters. How many parameters are there? 5. What are that? Economic material utilization, die cost, stamping operational cost, required production rate, and job accuracy. Please note down these 5 parameters. What are these 5 parameters? Economical material utilization, UR, die cost, that is second, stamping operation cost, that is third, required production rate, that is fourth, and job accuracy, that is 5. Okay, so these are the 5 parameters. Using that 5 parameters, I have got this stamping layout. This is one stamping layout, but like that I have 5 stamping layouts. No, 6: A, B, C, D, E, and F. These are the 6 stamping layouts. Out of these, I have to choose one. These are the 6 stamping layouts. Out of this, I want to choose one stamping layout considering these 5 parameters. What are these 5 parameters? Economical material utilization, die cost, stamping operational cost, required production rate, and job accuracy. Now, in these parameters which I have considered, die cost, and production rate. Please remember, I am going to ask you a question. Die cost and production rate. Die cost and production rate. Please reply me in chat. Die cost, higher is better or lower is better? And production rate, higher is better or lower is better? Again, I repeat, right? I have to select one out of it, one out of it, die cost and production rate. Okay, to select one stamping layout, what is good? What is good? Higher the die cost is good, or lower the production rate is good? Please reply in the chat. For die cost, higher die cost is good, and for production rate, higher production rate is good. What is correct? So Tushar is writing production rate higher, die cost lower, correct. Mayuri is also writing die cost lower, production rate higher, correct. Then Apurva is writing die cost lower and production rate higher, correct. Right? Mehul is also writing same. Then Mohit Kumar, die cost low, correct. Then Rajiv, yes, you are there. Lower production, lower. Why Rajiv? Lower production rate? Wrong. It's not. You have to. You have higher production rate, lower die cost, right? Tahasa, correct. It is lower die cost. Then there is again Mehul is there. Hari, die cost lower, correct. Okay. Then Preeti, she is writing die cost lower, correct. Chirag, he said die cost lower and production cost higher, right? So now I got so many of replies. I am very happy that you have at least understood what is the problem, right? That some means out of these 5 parameters, some which will be on a lower side are good, and some which are on the higher side, they are what you can say not good. Okay, so you have to check that for the analysis, that which one is good and which one is poor. Talk to them now. Who is that? Okay, so you will see here what we can do, that is layout. And for layout, this is the matrix which is given to you, which is known to you, right? That you are that consumption of material. Now this A, B, C, D, E, F is what? A, B, C, D, E, F is your layouts. If you will see, these are your layouts. So to produce A, layout A or die A, right? What is the cost material required? 26%. What is the cost of die? 25,000. What is the operational cost? 130 rupees per piece. What is the production rate per piece? That is production rate time, that is 80 minutes per pieces. And what is the job accuracy? The required job accuracy is the highest, right? If you want to go with the option A, this is given that for die A, the material consumption is 26%, die cost is 25,000, operation cost is 130 rupees, the production per minute is 80 pieces per minute, and required job accuracy is 4. Okay, out of this, first you have to find it out that higher is better or lower is better. That you have to check. So you will see that the production rate higher is better. Okay, and operation cost lower is better. So, and utilization of material, that is UR is what? Material economy. I think it is not utilization, material economic, material utilization. So economic material utilization higher is better. The one which is utilizing material economically, it is 40% material is utilized economically in B, right? And die cost, it is maximum for, that is die cost is minimum is good, so it is minimum for A. Operation cost, that is minimum is good, so for C it's a 90, which is a minimum cost. Then for pieces, production pieces, higher is the better, that is 150, and job accuracy higher is better, that is 4. So wherever I have marked the color orange, you make it circle, right? Why? Because we have to go normalization of this matrix in the second step. First step, you write down this, and whatever values I wrote and mark orange color, you make a circle around it. I give you 5 minutes, you write down this and mark the circle, then I will go to the next slide. Done? Anybody who is writing, please unmute him or herself and say done.
Just a second, sir.
Okay, fine.
Done, sir.
Okay, so now next step is normalization. In normalization, what we do, 0.4 divided by 0.4, it will give me 1. Okay, and rest, when it is on a higher side, rest the respective value by the higher value. Means for A, you have to divide 0.26 by 0.4. That is first column, all the values of first column you divide by 0.4. All the values of first column you divide by 0.4. That is the normalized value for that UR. But for die cost, minimum is good. That's why what you do, you divide 25,000 by all the cost. That will be the normalized value for die cost, right? For operational cost, minimum is the good. That means divide 90 by all the values of that particular column, right? While pieces per minute, higher is the better. Therefore, what you do, divide all the values by 150. In job accuracy, good is better. So what you will do, divide all the values by 4 and prepare a normalized matrix in your notebook. First column, divide all the values by 0.4. Okay, then second, third, and fourth column, divide all the values by 150, right? And fifth column, divide all the values by 4. These 3 column first you do. First column, then fourth column, and fifth column. First you do first column, then you do fourth column, and then you do fifth column, and write down the normalized value of the UR, PR and J in the next table. Make a next table. And for second and third column, divide 25,000 by all the values of the column. And for OC also divide 90 by all the values. That will be the normalized value for DC and OC. Do it up to 2 digits. Don't go beyond 2 digits. Do the calculation up to 2 digits in your notebook. Done? Hello, someone of you unmute and tell me if you have done the normalized matrix. So you will get these values, right up to 2 decimal points. This is a normalizing the value based on the step 1 by value equal to 1. Check your values. And if it is not around this, you can cut and write the correct value from this table. Step 2, that is B1 matrix. Please write the name of the matrix also. This was step 1, no matrix number is given, but this matrix B1 matrix is given. So this is B1 matrix. So let me check how many of you have done this normalized value matrix. Please type yes in chat if you have done this matrix calculation. Please type yes if you have done B1 matrix. Please type yes. Only I got one yes. Mehul, one more. 3, 4. 65 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not even 10%. 6. Dharmendra did 7, 8. Then what is Ranjan Kumar? Why you not understood? Simply I said first column highest value is there. Divide all the values by that
hello,
particular.
Sir. Am I audible?
Yes, Ranjan Kumar, tell me.
Rajan, not Ranjan.
Hello.
Okay. Rajan, not Ranjan.
Yeah, Rajan Kumar, tell me.
Yes. If we divide the last column by 4, then third column OC. If we divide the value by 90, then if 130 divided by 90, his answer is 1 point something.
That what I am saying. What I said, you have to go for normalization. And when you go for the normalization of matrix, first you have to decide higher is better or lower is better. In case of higher is better, then you have to divide all the values by that. And if lower is better, then that value divided by all the values.
Okay,
Rajan
but
Kumar,
yes,
understood?
sir. According to
Normalization.
you, you divide this third column by 25,000. Okay,
Yes.
sir.
No, sir,
Okay, if we
25,000
divide
values.
28,560 divided by 25,000, then always the value is
Rajan,
higher than one.
Rajan Kumar, first you understand where there is a lower is better, lower is better. First
Okay.
you understand lower is better. That value divided by all the values for normalization. Normalization means your value should be less than one. It should never be more than one. That is
Okay.
called normalization process. Okay.
So we divided this column by 32,663.
Which column?
DC, third one.
DC. DC. DC is what?
Yes, this one, third column.
No, third column is OC. Third is OC.
Okay, okay, according to you, okay. Second column, DC. Then
DC.
this,
So DC is what? Die cost. Lower is better, na?
High
So
cost.
when lower is better, hello, die
yes,
cost
yes,
lower
sir.
is better. So when lower is better, then what you have to do? You have to divide that value, lower value by all the values for
Okay.
normalization. You write down in
Hmm.
your notebook, Rajan Kumar, you write down in your notebook when
Okay.
lower is better, when lower is better, divide lowest value by all the value for that column.
Okay, okay, okay. Fine, sir.
Okay. And second, vice versa. Got it?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Next, how many I see? Let me calculate. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, 7, 10. Yes. Okay, nearly 20% what we can say participant have done the calculations. Others have not wrote yes, right? So at this stage, I remember one story, but I will not tell you that story. Otherwise, those who are not doing work, na, they will feel bad. Okay, so the step 2 is your B1 matrix. That B1 matrix is now ready. Now we will go for step number 3. Right. So what is step number 3? The step number 3 is the comparison matrix. And how this matrix is derived? This matrix is derived when you have sent your questionnaire form to the experts, and these experts have given weight to your factors. Right. And this has been obtained from the questionnaire survey. So this you copy as it is. This is the matrix A1 matrix. That A1 matrix is derived from questionnaire survey which you have sent to the experts, and experts have given the weight that when you are comparing UR with DC, the weightage is 3, UR with OC, the weightage is 5, UR with PR, they both are equally important, UR with job accuracy, they both are equally important. And this matrix is prepared from questionnaire survey. So you copy this particular matrix A1, and on the top of this matrix you write this is derived from pair-wise comparison sent to the expert. This is a data table, or but in when you will solve for a problem, for your problem, what you to do, you have to send prepare a questionnaire survey in which you have to write one side UR, another side all the factor, that is UR with DC, UR with OC, UR with PR, UR with J, and that scale, right? 0 in the center, left 13579 and right 13579, and send it to expert. Expert will work and he will return you. So such metrics you will get for each expert. Suppose you have sent to 50 experts, from 50 experts you have got these 50 metrics, and that 50 metrics you have to process using geometric mean method to derive one value. So based on that, this A1 matrix you have obtained. So once you have copied this matrix, then I will go to the next slide. So B1 is known now. Now A1 is your what we can say weights which you have derived, comparative matrix weights which you have considered, you have got from the experts. These are not final weights, but these are the what you can say outcome of your questionnaire survey, where he has evaluated your what we can say parameters, that which one is important more to others. Though this is pairwise output of pairwise comparison matrix. A1 is output of pairwise comparison matrix. So once you got A1, then the next step is that is you just see UR, DC, OC, PR and J, and how the UR you have got. So 1 into 3 into 5 into 1. The first column you see, first row you see 1 into 3 into 5 into 1 into 1 raised to 1 by 5. Whatever comes, that is your 1.7188. Okay, for DC, what you will do for DC? For DC, 1 by 3 into 1 into 3 into 1 by 3 into 1 by 3 whole raised to 1 by 5. So that will give me 0.64. For OC, what you have to do? 1 by 5 into 1 by 3 into 1 into 1 by 5 into 1 by 5. So what value you will get? 0.30. For PR, you have to multiply 1 into 3 into 5 into 1 into 1 raised to 1 by 5. So that is 1.71. For J, 1 into 3 into 5 into 1 into 1. That will give me what you can say 1.71. Once you got all the values, you do sum of that. That comes out to 6.10, right? And then you divide 1.71 by 6.10. Right, then 0.64 divided by 6.10, 0.30 divided by 6.10, and so on. You will get the A2 matrix. Then you will get the A2 matrix. Why this 5 is 7 raised to 5 is taken? Because it is 5 by 5 matrix. If it is 6 matrix, then you have to take 1 by 6. If it is 7 matrix, then you have to take 1 by 7. Remember it. So these are your weights. But your next step is to check whether these weights are correct or not. These are your weights. Okay, but whether these weights are correct or not, that we wanted to check. How we will check? That consistency ratio should be less than 10%. So now we wanted to find it out CR. So to find out CR, what is the steps that I will show in the next slide. First you copy this, or first you do these calculations, write down in your notebook, and then I will go ahead. Done. The next step is check for weights by consistency index. So the first step is multiply A1 matrix with A2 matrix. What is your A2 matrix? This is your A2 matrix. Where is your A1 matrix? This is your A1 matrix. So you have to do multiplication of A1 matrix with A2 matrix. That means here A1 first row 1 3 5 1 1 multiply by what you can say the A2 matrix weights. Okay, so that is shown over below. A3 is equal to 1 into 0.28, that is first one, then 3 into the second one 0.10, 5 into third one, that is 0.50, because it's OC, right? Actually, if you will see A1, in A1 UR parameters horizontally you will see UR is 1. So you have to multiply first column UR comparison matrix with value with UR weight. So what is UR weight? So UR weight is 0.28. Okay, then what is DC weight? DC weight is 3. Okay, then what is OC weight? That is 5. So you have to multiply it with the 5, right? Then what is PR? That is 1. And what is J? That is 1. So this you have to multiply with respectively UR. It is UR is how much? 0.28. DC is how much? 0.10. OC is how much? 0.05. Weight for OC is 0.05. For PR, the weight is 0.28. And for J, the weight is 0.28. So you have to multiply these two matrix A3, A1 into A3, and you will get the A3 matrix. Yes. Tushar has asked that are the experts who report in the survey belong to dye production? Yes, you have to send the what you can say this questionnaire to the one who is expert of that area. You cannot arbitrarily send it to anybody. Someone was talking, so I came to this particular what we can say screen. They were discussing, they were asking someone to go and have a tea and all that. So their mic is on. So they are talking about going and bringing the tea. They may be enjoying party, and one side this they may be attending the STTP also. Okay, so once you prepared this A3 matrix, A1 into A2, that will give you A3 matrix. Then A4 matrix is that A3 values divided by A2 values. So A3 value is 1.41. And what is my A2 value? That is 0.28. So respective values you have to divide. UR value you have to divide with UR weight. Okay, then that you have to divide value of A3 matrix, and you can prepare A4 matrix, and then you can prepare A4 matrix. So A4 matrix is A3 matrix divided by A2 matrix. So first you prepare A3 matrix, then you prepare A4 matrix. Then do sum of it. So that sum comes out to be 25. Right? That comes out to be 25. Then you have to find it out lambda max. What is lambda max? Lambda max is equal to sum of A4 matrix, sum of A4 matrix divided by size of the matrix. So what is the size of matrix? 5. So sum of A4 divided by 5, that will give you 5.041737. Then you have to find out consistency index. What is consistency index? Lambda max minus m upon m minus 1. So lambda max is 5.04173. M is the size of matrix, that is 5 upon 5 minus 1. So you will get CIS 0.010434. That is consistency index. That will give you consistency index. So everybody reach up to CI. Shall I change the slide? Someone of you unmute yourself and tell yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
once CI is done, now we will have to check consistency ratio. So consistency ratio, the formula is CI upon RI. This consistency index that we have find it out in the previous table. Okay, and RI, this is given by Sati. And for that RI, the value for 5 by 5 matrix is 1.11. So what you do, the CI value, that is 0.010434 divided by 1.11. So that will give me 0.0094. That will give me 0.0094, which is less than 0.1. That's why the weights which I have derived, weights where I have derived the weights that is A2 matrix, they are correct. Right? So in step 4 you got the weights, but step 5 and step 6 you have checked the weights. Step 5 and step 6 you have checked the weights, whether the derived weights are correct or not. So here your consistency ratio has come 0.0094. That's mean your weights are correct. So once you found that your weights are correct, now you have to go for ranking. So to do ranking of your layouts, what you have to do, the derived weights. So where are your derived weights? That is matrix A2. And what is your basic data for the die parameters? That is your step number 1. That is, sorry, B1. That is normalized matrix. So you have to multiply your derived weights with B1. Your derived weights with B1. So I have shown here below that B1 for A, calculation of A, to calculate the rank of A, you have to multiply weight with the B1 matrix. So 0.65 into 0.214 plus 1 into 1059 plus 0.69 into 0.05, 0.53 into 0.28 and 1 into 0.2814. So that will give you the rank mark. Value is 754729. B1 into A2. B1 is your normalized matrix and A2 is your weights. So respective, you have to multiply the respective value of parameter with its weight to find it out rank of die A. Similarly, die B, die C, die D, die E and die F. B1 into A2 you will do, then you will get A, B, C, D, E and F. And that will give you the rank mark. And once you got all the value, you can rank them. C, that is 0.85, B, that is 0.84, A, that is 0.75, D, that is 0.71, F, that is 0.68 and E, that is 0.67. So this way you can rank your dice, right? That is A, B, C, D, E and F. 3 and 3, 6 dice are there. So these 6 dice can be ranked according to C, B, A, D, F, E. These are the rank marks. Worked out rank, you say yes sir, then I will go ahead. Work out rank for all dice A, B, C, D, E and F. Work out rank of different types of dice, that is A, B, C, D, E and F. So rank is over. Say yes or no. Rank, have you worked out? Those who were doing the computations, say yes, sir. Or still you need time? Hello.
Yes, sir. Done.
Done. Okay. So this way you can solve what you can say the ranking you can do of the cost as I have shown you. Okay. Now let me know how many of you have done the complete problem. Type in chat. Complete problem done by the number of participants here. This yes sir means all those who have done the problem. Yes, I got some done, sir. Okay. I got few responses. Those says that they have done the complete example, right? Those who have done this problem completely, for them I have one gift. You please type those who have done the example, right? Done, sir, because I asked Darshan that those who have done the problem completely or partially, only to those participants you give the gift which I am going to show them, right? You note down the name. Darshan, are you there? Darshan?
Hi, yes, sir. I am here. I am here.
Okay, so those participants who are writing done, sir, or writing that partially done, them you have to give one gift, which I am going to show all the participants right now, right?
Okay.
But don't send that gift to all the participants, only to those who have done or they have done the partial one. Okay, so I'm now going to show you the gift. Is my slide is visible? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Then see, this is the software. Exercise problem AHP Cal version. This is the analytical hierarchy process software. And in this software, you will see that here, the first sheet below, you will see summary, input, multiple input, 3x3 matrix, 4x4 matrix, 5x5 matrix, 6x6 matrix, and so on. Okay, so what you have to do in this summary, you have to write n is equal to 5, evaluation of metal stamping layout using an analytical hierarchy process. I have done it. The date, this is a old date which on which I have solved this, and I got these weights. But how I got these weights, right? Let's see. There my matrix was 5x5. So this is my data table. Right side you see the data table is given where UR and DC, that comparison matrix weights you have got, that you have got it, that you have to feed in this 5x5 matrix. Just see here 1 3 5 1 1, then 1/3 1 3 1 3 1 3. These weights I have done, and once I substitute these weights over here, you will directly get these weights after fifth iteration. You will see it shows the first iteration and then it shows the fifth iterations. Okay, so the entire steps which you have done for step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, step number 4, and step number 5, consistency check, that it is C 0.009. this value got in the what we can say the PowerPoint presentation as, let me show you again, that is 0.0009, right? This is the value. This is 0.009. So this value for the same data, you got it from the software also in within a fraction of second. This is 0.0009, right? In a fraction of, and these are the weight 28%, 10%, 5%, 28%, and 28%. So you are required to simply give your comparison matrix weights in this software and it will directly compute and give you the weights. These weights, then the last step you have to perform. What was the last step? The last step was multiplying your weights with the matrix, first matrix B1 and find out the rank. That much part will only remain. This particular slide, this particular slide, this particular slide, this is the comparison matrix which you have computed, and this particular site you are not required to compute. This all you will get directly from AHP software, right? This is 28, and you can check your weights, right? Those who are having that matrix, which matrix? That matrix is, I think, A2 matrix in which the weights were given. A2 matrix in which the weights were given. Let's just check it. Yeah, this is the A2 matrix, 28, 10, 5, 28, 28. Just see here in software, 28, 10, 5, 28, 28. I think 10, I have taken the second parameter so that I got 28, 10, or is it same? 28, 10, na? 28, 10, 5, 28, 28. So in software also, you got the same weight, 28, 10, 5, 28, 28. Right? So this gift is only for those. I will mail this software to Darshan, and Darshan, this gift is only for those who have done the example, right? And you can do it up to 8 by 8 matrix. It's very easy. And sometimes it happens. I laugh at those who are saying that this is an old technique. Arey Baba, no old technique. This is the technique. Still it is used, and it can be applied in any field. Right, anywhere where you want to apply multi-criteria decision making tool, right, and you want to use AHP, this is equally good for you. So I hope that I have not wasted your time, and I have explained you theory, partial theory, and at the same time I have explained you the example. We have solved together the example. This is my email ID, which you can see in this slide. That is, and any collaboration either for research or for consultancy work or for delivering the expert lecture, I welcome it. So thank you very much, Darshan. Thank you very much all.